Have you watched Toy Story before? Have you wondered who the headless doll was? The one in the pink dress is supposed to be Marie Antoinette, Queen of France. Who was she? She played a role in the French Revolution, which we will talk about later. But first, what are revolutions? The word revolution comes from Latin revolutio, meaning a turnaround. Revolutions are turning points in history. A turning point is a time at which a decisive change occurs. Let's look at some features of revolutions using the French Revolution. Revolutions involve drastic change. They happen when revolutionaries are discontent with the current situation, people who feel that society has been unfair to them. Revolutions completely transform the society. Before the French Revolution, France was ruled by an absolute monarchy, meaning that they had a king. During that time, French society was split into three groups, known as the Three Estates. The first estate was made up of the Catholic Church. The second estate consisted of the nobles. The third estate was basically everyone else. This system of government, called the Ancien Regime, had been in place since the 15th century. But not everyone agreed with this system, especially the third estate. They had to pay a lot of taxes even though they were poor, while the other rich estates didn't pay anything. This unfairness drove people to overthrow this system, destroying the Ancien Regime and the monarchy. France became a republic, meaning that the power was in the hands of the people. Obviously, this was a complete change. A small group cannot start a revolution on their own. They need the support of masses. The first two estates made up about 430,000 people combined, but the third estate had 27 million people, more than 60 times the other two estates, and these were the people who supported the revolution the most. As you can see, a revolution is driven by masses. Revolutions typically involve a certain amount of violence. As revolutions arise from people's desire for change, there are always other people who resist change. Violence is one thing the French Revolution is famous for. During the Reign of Terror, the recently invented guillotine was put to use executing those who were considered traitors to the revolution, including the king and queen. There were 17,000 official victims of the terror, and 150,000 more were killed in the fighting. Of course, any event has both good and bad outcomes, as do revolutions. In the case of the French Revolution, after the estate system was destroyed, there was equality in social status for everyone. The Declaration of the Rights of Man was drawn up, enforcing the ideals of freedom and civic rights. However, many people died during the fighting. The revolution also plunged France into chaos, as rival factions battled for power after the execution of the king. Here's a recap. Revolutions are turning points in history because they involve drastic change, masses of people, violence, and have both good and bad impacts. This makes them significant historical milestones which have lasting effects even for us today.